Hello, my name is St-Cyr, President and CEO of Rootree, based in Burlington, Ontario. We're a family business. We started about 10 years ago. We're a nutrition, health-oriented group of people, and we were looking to start a company in growing microgreens and providing nutritional products, importing superfoods. The company was created out of need for packaging for ourselves, and then we started the niche as a way of supplying small to medium enterprises with packaging for mostly food sector-oriented products. We've always had a focus on sustainability. It's ingrained very deep. Environment and sustainability in our market is addressed through a couple of different ways. One of them is technology selection. So there's ways in selecting very new and advanced technologies, which we've been pioneers in that space, ordering machines that are unique in the world, or the first in the world, or that are unique in this particular region, and continuously addressing technology and innovation in a way that allows us to better service those small to medium brands, but also allows us to reduce waste. Ahead of putting out a product into the world, we want to avoid creating a great deal of waste that consumers, brands, and nobody ever sees, but that gets into landfills and basically creates a strain on the recycling industry and so on and so forth. So waste reduction, energy preservation, is one. Things like partnership with Bullfrog Energy to convert the energy that we consume into green energy, studying ways of how to be carbon neutral. We also have a mandate, one of the things we started off with Rootree, which is the annual tree planting events. For us, it's a way of raising awareness within the company, getting our staff involved in touching the earth, touching plants, planting earth. It's a tool that we use to raise awareness, and so also a tool that we use to inspire others and other companies to perhaps take on similar initiatives to help the world in its environmental troubles that we have right now and in its longevity. The other component for us in sustainability, which is the one that we're most known for, is the continuous innovations and the products that we bring to market. In terms of recycling is always a very, again, broad subject. There's not things that I would say everything is recyclable essentially in our market, and that's one way that some of the companies like to put it. I like to say personally that things are easier to recycle. So at this time, and because we do multi-layer laminated structures where one layer is different than the other, it's important to note that in recycling, most recyclers like to see individual materials get received for the ease of recycling. What we like to do and how we make products easier to recycle is by dealing with monopolymers, trying to address the technical characteristics of each and every layer, but while still keeping them within the same type of material so that it's easier to recycle them, it's easier to determine which recycling chain it's going to go down into. But that's just one of the challenges of recycling, and it's working with partnerships and with the industry to try to make that more effective today. We're one of the first ones, definitely, if not the first one, of bringing multi-layer laminated structures that would be, each layer would be home compostable, laminated together and geared for a market that typically requires very good protection against moisture, against oxygen, and against things that would affect its shelf life. When we consider environment, we also have to consider waste in the food spoilages. So just creating a compostable packaging is one thing, but creating a compostable packaging that can also create a high barrier packaging for the company so that we don't have food waste and so that the life cycle of it selling at a retail level is maintained is also super important. Methods of disposal. This is always a very interesting topic because they say, Rootree, you make home compostable packaging. Where do I dispose of it? Do I put it in my green bin? Do I put it in my landfill? Is it recyclable? And this is where it becomes a very interesting conversation and a conversation that you will see that there's many gaps and the idea is to bridge the gap and to start working better together between governments, between private companies, between environmental conservation authorities and so on. So we make a product that every layer is home compostable and the inks are good for home compostability and so on and so forth. Today, the amount of plastic waste or compostable plastics that can go into municipal composting programs is actually quite minimal. So it may very well be that for compostable packaging, or packaging that has a home compostable structures, that it is for you if you live in a rural setting and you have a backyard composting capability to compost them yourself. It's a great way for you to get in touch with the earth and to understand how things break down, for you to relieve also the amount of organic waste that makes it into landfill, which is a major part of greenhouse gases. The methane that's created in landfill creates a lot of greenhouse gases, which is obviously negative for the environment. So the more composting you can do at home, the better off you are. But if you don't have that capability of composting at home, it may very well be that the best place for you to put it currently is the landfill itself. So then it becomes, why go through the cost, and why go through jumping through hoops of going through compostable packaging? And the best way that I can put it is, we need companies that support compostable packaging, because we need the industry to develop. If nobody invests in creating compostable packaging, then the film technology will never get to a place where we can say that, hey, this packaging, this compostable packaging is just as good as conventional polymers, which today it's not. It's not as performant. So we need consumer dollars to go towards compostable packaging. One is you're supporting a renewable product. So at the one of the fringe benefits, even if it ends up in the landfill, is, hey, my packaging is made from 30-40% renewable products. So that's one of the fringe benefits. The other is the innovation component. The third is, if you do have a consumer that is composting at home, they can do that. The fourth is, it becomes a marketing tool for the company. If you're a company that is selling coffee, and then the company right next to you is selling a coffee, and you guys are both in the same region, today's trend is that the consumer dollar will go towards the company that has a more environmental, a more green image. In this case, the compostable packaging does a lot. Every early adopter of any one of these streams of more environmental packaging is helping us get closer and closer to a place where we don't have to continuously create virgin plastics, continuously create waste in the oceans, continuously create waste and burden on the recycling and the landfill industry. We're definitely not living in that human way of being compassionate and caring of the earth in the way that we are currently doing things. So for Rootree, we try to continue that innovation, continue that environmental first mindset. We took our values, we took our spirit, and wanted to infuse it into an industry that we knew very little about, and we've been able to do an incredible number of things. So I would just invite anybody that's listening, try to have this environmental first mindset. This is the time and the age that we're in. There's no avoiding it. I think that the earth is the most amazing thing, and to leave it in the way that we've been able to enjoy it for future generations should be top of mind for anybody. And that's what we try to do. So from our family, from our staff, from our group to yours, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it was informative and it was enjoyed. Thank you.